Call please, Mr. Veeder.
Leyland,
Here.
Little,
Here.
Trelka,
Here.
White,
Here.
Schwartz.
Here. Please join us in a moment of silence to reflect on today's actions. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Entertain a motion on the agenda.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? The agenda is approved. Next is public comments. Anybody from the public who wishes to speak to the board at this time on something that's not an agenda item? I don't see anyone in the room or online. We will move on now to Years of Service Awards. This is to employees with 20 or more years of service to the county.
Mr. Chair, we have 3 service awards today. For 20 years of service from the Assessor's Office, Michelle Clark.
Don't want to shake hands, huh? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, these. Is she back there?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dana? Tell her to turn it down a little bit.
And also with now with 30 years, Steve Hallbach from the County Attorney's Office.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Congratulations. I forgot.
Good job.
Also with 30 years of service, Deborah K.
Yeah.
Stackhouse from
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Started when you were 13. Wow. Child labor laws didn't exist.
All right, thank you all so much for your dedication to the county and to our community, and you've all served us very well. We will now move on to claims and payments.
Good morning, Board. This
Morning.
week's expenditure is $286,869.42. Of that, $104,818 were secondary roads. $20,505 was JCS. $46,300 was Sheriff's Department, and $21,742 was maintenance. Everything looked good.
104 for the bridge.
Excuse me?
Was it 104,000 for the bridge?
Well, that was secondary roads. Of that, I mean, that you're gonna have the engineers department and the roads department. The majority of that just came from, let's see here,
That's fine.
well, yeah, it looks like Mile Rock, Shoulder Rock, makeup of that, retainage for the Gilbertville shop, for the buildings, and then various other charges, so.
Yeah, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes, the resolution is approved. Next, we'll receive project updates from department heads or elected officials.
Morning, Kathy.
Morning, Kathy.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Board. Kathy Nicholas, County Engineer. Brief update on our asphalt paving contracts for the year. They are now complete. Indian Creek, Spring Creek just finished up last week. Work is continuing on the Cedar River Bridge Replacement Project. There is still quite a bit of work to do before we are ready to pave. And of course, the asphalt plants probably aren't going to stay open much longer than like mid-November, or between the 1st of November and mid-November. So at this time, of course, we're not sure if the road will be open this winter or not. It's just, a lot of it will depend on if we can get the approaches, the new roadway approaches paved in time before the plant closes. And then lastly, I was just going to update you at the national level, the FAST Act, which is Fixing America's Surface Transportation. That's our authorization act for highway funding that expired last week on September 30th, 2020. And then you probably know that there was a continuing resolution to fund the FAST Act through December 11th, 2020. So I'll keep you posted. It's most likely going to be extended for another year until October 1st of 2021. Can I answer any questions at this time? Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other department heads or elected officials wish to give an update today?
Good morning, Board.
Morning,
Sandy
Sandy.
Smith, County Recorder. I just want to give you a quick update on the status of our Passport Center. As you know, we have been closed down since mid-March due to COVID, but mainly because the U.S. Department of State stopped processing routine passports as well. They would only do them in life or death emergencies. They have slowly started to reopen their facilities in the United States, so we think tomorrow is a good time to start resuming our operation also. So we are starting with appointments 1 day a week to try to limit how many people are on the second floor here. We currently have 30 families scheduled to come in October for passports. The processing times are going to take now 12 weeks, is the last I heard from the government. So anyway, we're happy to bring this service back. A lot of people have been calling. They're very concerned about their expired passports. They're concerned about spring break travel in 2021. So we're very happy to have this back.
Thank you, Sandy.
How were they aware of it, that you're gonna start back up?
We have been putting it out on our website.
Okay, so they are,
Because we've been taking appointments for about 2 to 3 weeks.
okay,
Yes.
so they're getting it off the website?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other department heads or elected officials wish to give an update today?
Good morning, Board. This is Yolando,
Good morning.
Blackhawk County Veterans Affairs Director. I just want to give you a quick update. This Thursday coming up, the October the 8th, from 11 to 1, we're doing our annual Veteran Stand Down. We're doing it a little different than what we've done in the past. It's kind of a drive-through so that we don't have a collection of veterans here at one time, but it's still the typical stand down where we have a couple of the resources there to help our veterans, include the health department, and also where we issue out the coats, the gloves, the hats to our disadvantaged veterans. So we're looking forward to that. We'll provide them a warm meal. It's actually a carry-out meal. And so they'll get their backpacks, their toiletries, and then they'll get a warm meal, and then we'll escort them out the door. But at least gives us opportunity to do something for our disadvantaged veterans. And then this past Sunday, as you seen on the news, our area, in particular myself, was involved with the West High JROTC, East High JROTC, the Daughters of the Revolution, and a couple others, including Mayor Green, where we were out at Elmwood Cemetery cleaning veterans' headstones, and actually helping in the standpoint of actually kind of finding where some of the veterans are laying. So we're mapping out that cemetery. That's a 3-part. Saturday was the first, and then they're doing it again next Saturday, and then another Sunday as we help Elmwood out as far as the damage that they had, and then helping our veterans get those headstones clean. We had a pretty good turnout in that standpoint, and we look forward to doing it again. Our office donated some of the cleaning supplies to participate in this event, and I thought it was a very successful event for that Saturday, for that Sunday, and then this Saturday at 11 o'clock, we'll be right back out there. That's all I had for today.
Good. Thank you. Very good work. Any other department heads? Yes.
Mr. Chair, I wanted to point out that yesterday, October 5th, was the first day to vote absentee ballots for the general election. We had over 600 people come up to the second floor and vote at the election office. We also sent out around close to 29,000 ballots that we've received requests for since July. And so people locally should be getting those today or tomorrow. Some people that are not in Blackhawk County, it may take a little longer, but we are in the process now of getting those ballots in, and remind everybody that they can, if they requested a ballot in the mail, the postage is paid, they can drop it in the mail. We encourage them to do that as soon as possible. If they want to deliver it by hand, they can bring it to the courthouse and either bring it up to the election office on the second floor or leave it in the drop box outside the entrance to the courthouse.
Very good, thank you. Any other department heads or elected officials? Hearing none, we will move on to the minutes approved from the September 29th
Second.
meeting. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, the minutes are approved. Next is the consent agenda. This will be approved with a single resolution.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there anything, it's been moved and seconded. Is there anything in the consent agenda anybody wishes to discuss? All right. Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes. Consent agenda is approved. Next, we'll move on to other business. First is a resolution with the suspension request by Douglas Bus on taxes owed for 2018-2019 installments in the amount of $1,086 for 233 North Hackett in Waterloo, Iowa. This is parcel number 8913-17429-007. Be approved pursuant to Iowa Code 47.8. Yes.
Could I have that changed to 2020-2021 installments?
Yes.
Check that. I didn't see that before the meeting. Thank you.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. This is with the change. This is 2020 and 2021. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes, the resolution is approved. Next is a resolution that the rate increase the amount of 3% as submitted by the Waterloo Water Works effective January 1st, 2021, in accordance with 11.2 of the 28E agreement with Waterloo Water Works regarding Washburn Water System be approved.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or questions?
I think for the record, the board has no say-so in this whatsoever. It's just a vote that we have to vote. Otherwise, we have nothing to do with the increase.
Yep. Very good. Roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes, the resolution is approved. Next is a resolution, the best bid received from Frederick Weber, LaPorte City, in the amount of $5.35 for the proposed 3-year lease agreement for a county-owned flood damage
moved.
vacant lot.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes. Next is a resolution of the best bid received from Frederick Weber, LaPorte City, Iowa, in the amount of $5.35 for a proposed 3-year lease for a
moved.
vacant lot, and this was formerly known as 6611 Sunnyside Street. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes, the resolution is approved. Next is a resolution of the best bid received from Frederick Weber, LaPorte City, Iowa, on $5.35 for a proposed 3-year
So moved.
lease agreement on flood damage vacant lot formerly known as 6612 Sunnyside Street. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes, resolution is approved. Next is a resolution of the best bid received from Brian McCarty, Waterloo, Iowa, in the amount of $31 for a 3-year lease on the county-owned flood damage vacant lot, formerly known as 5030 Wyden Road,
So moved.
Waterloo. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes. Resolution is approved. Next is a resolution of the best bid received from Mark Manrich, Waterloo, Iowa, in the amount of $78 for the proposed 3-year lease agreement for county-owned vacant flood damage lot, formerly known as 5407 Wyden Road.
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes, the resolution is approved. Next is a resolution of the best bid received from Michael Ruby of Janesville, Iowa, in the amount of $100 for the proposed 3-year lease agreement for county-owned flood damaged vacant lot, formerly known as 7904 Finchford Road, Janesville.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes. Resolution is approved. Next is resolution of the best bid received from Jason Klemke of Janesville, Iowa, in the amount of $72 for the proposed 3-year lease agreement for county-owned flood damaged vacant lot. This is formerly known as 9915 Winslow Road in Janesville.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes. Resolution is approved. Next is the resolution of the best bid received from Dan Deary Motor, Waterloo, Iowa, the amount of $37,365 for a 2021 Ram 350 single axle truck with an aluminum flatbed hoist, approved, and for the chair to sign as recommended by
Second.
Lori Giving, maintenance superintendent. Dana?
Morning. So as you know, we had 5 bids for this last week. We decided to go with Dan Deary Motor Company. It's a 2021 Ram single axle truck with aluminum hoist bed. We originally budgeted $48,000 for it.
Right.
Questions?
Oh, very good.
That sounds like a really good price.
Yeah, that is a good price. All right, it's been moved and seconded. Do we have any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
Trelka,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes, resolution is approved. Next is a resolution that the amendment number 1 to the Blackhawk County Secondary Roads fiscal year 2021 5-year program, which reprioritizes 4 projects and adjusts project funding in 2021, be approved and direct chair to sign the same as recommended by Catherine Nicholas, County Engineer. Kathy?
Yeah, as you know, the Code of Iowa requires the engineer to update or submit changes to the 5-year construction plan every spring with your approval. Due to recent bridge inspections, we've had to close Gresham Road Bridge earlier this year. We've had to post a structure on Hammond Avenue, and due to those changes, we need to shuffle around our construction project, our construction list. We're going to be replacing those 2 structures next year. They were in 2022 or in 2023 in our plans, so we need to move those up, and then, of course, we need to push a few projects out to make up for that. So this is your approval to do that.
Good. I appreciate that. We'll move that around and get those structures open in the next construction season. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Veeder.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes, the resolution is approved. Next is discussion, possible board action on Blackhawk County strategic planning sessions. So I brought this up to the board a couple weeks ago and was asked to put it on the agenda so we could kind of discuss what our strategies would be behind this. But we just saw in the last resolution in the engineer's office already does 5-year plannings on their various construction projects. This would be, at least from my perspective, I'm looking at what the 5-year plans would be in each department for capital purchases, for changes in personnel and staffing levels, as well as taking a look at maybe unmet or needed community needs that we think that the county might have a role in, and what we could do over the course of a 5-year period. And so I think that the capital portion and the personnel are kind of the easier, more straight ahead parts, just knowing what major purchases are going to be in the plans of each department, so that when things come in the budget, nobody's like too surprised at something that's coming up. We kind of knew that this was coming, and we can kind of plan accordingly for it. But I'd like to hear ideas from others about how they'd like to see this work.
Don't they currently submit this at budget time now, and have for the last few years? Their 5-year plan?
they don't all necessarily submit a 5-year. I know that there were things that came up in the budget this last year that people were surprised
I
by.
know they all got 5-year plans.
And I just want to see it simple. I don't
Yeah.
want to see anything complicated,
Right.
because I don't want to overburden any department head, but just something simple so we know what's on the horizon.
And I think that we could, pull together, and I agree, I don't want this to be some big, long, complicated document. This is just something really, just kind of the outline of where departments need to go. As far as community needs, I think we want to pull in maybe some community leaders, of course, time just to talk about some of the things, whether it's mental health issues or homeless issues or food insecurity or housing, that the county might be able to play a role in. And but so is it Linda? Do you have something you want to say?
I was going to say, I think it's a good idea. I think for us to take a look at it, I think it's maybe something that's going to take several meetings, obviously, for us to do it. And I appreciate the comments you make regarding staffing and capital improvements and that type of thing. Some of those are going to be much easier when you talk about the projects from the community standpoint. I think those would probably be concerns or something that would require a lot more discussion. But I know some of our larger departments, the conservation and roads and bridges, and who am I leaving out? I was going to say that of our conservation, roads and bridges, maintenance, I think Rory talked about having a 5-year plan or working on a 5-year plan last year. So some of those larger ones I know are probably in place, but I think it'd be great to have a consolidated plan so that we look at everybody's needs, whether it be equipment or IT or staffing, and we look at that, from a 30,000 square foot view, I guess, so that we're looking ahead. So I appreciate the fact that we do it. I'm not sure if we want to have maybe a few meetings before or with budget, and then most of maybe the planning for this being for next year. I don't know what the board's thoughts are on that.
So could you repeat just the last part?
As far as, I think it might take multiple meetings, and since we're soon going to be going into budget, I'm not sure we'd have time for some of those meetings, but we could, excuse me, kind of consolidate those meetings with budget, excuse my voice. I don't know, I guess I wanted to know what the board's thoughts were on having a timing of this, because obviously going into budgets.
Yeah, I mean, I could get behind the idea of doing this in tandem with the budget process. 'Cause that's when we're talking about the investments that we'll be making that year. So I think that can work well. And I agree that the community aspect of it is something that's going to take longer. And might involve maybe doing a handful of Zoom forums with the board, inviting community members to come speak with us about things they'd like to see us do in the community. But I could get behind, because I know right around the corner we'll be in the budget season, and I think it's okay to be doing this in tandem with that. Others have thoughts on that?
I'm wondering, as part
Yeah.
of the budget preparation process, if we could ask department heads 1 page or less
Yep.
of what they see for a 5-year plan in regard to capital improvements, personnel, stuff like that. 'Cause I don't want it to be complicated.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that's kind of what I was thinking too. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, agree. I think going into the planning, since we're just getting ready to go into that, if everybody's looking at their budgets from that standpoint of a 5-year plan, what they see might make it much easier for us to work through that. So that'd be a great place to start.
I think it's something we've been doing the whole time.
The bottom line is budget derives the 5-year plan, so it's got to be fluid, because it changes every year, especially even more so with the COVID situation. We have no idea what revenues are going to be, so it goes hand in hand with budget, and it's probably the time we should be speaking about it.
Yep.
But again, I've seen 5-year plans come before me every year of budget, so departments are doing them. It's just that they have to be tweaked. Good example was today with the engineers department.
Well, I don't think all the departments have been doing it from our perspective and sharing that with us. So I think a consolidated plan makes it much easier for us when we look out over 5 years. I think Tom and Craig are exactly right. We have to be pretty fluid, and some of those things we change based on what's going on in the year and property evaluations and all kinds of things that we have. But that makes us be able to push projects forward or hold some back or whatever we need to do. And knowing what's out there in a 5-year period helps us with that planning, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I think that having the kind of consolidated 5-year plan of all departments in the county together even helps us be when we have to be fluid in those situations. Lets us know if we push this project off this year, this is what will be pushed off in the next year and stuff, and this helps us have the whole picture when we make those decisions. So I think it actually helps us be fluid in those situations. But it sounds like there is consensus of asking for just kind of the 1 page or overview from each department going into the budget session, and then kind of consolidating that into one document, and then maybe more discussion about how we look at community needs and what the county's involvement should be in those.
Yes.
All right. Any other discussion on this topic? All right, we'll move on to the next item is discussion on county preparedness, possible updates for COVID-19. Are there any updates today? Nafisa?
Hi, good morning, board.
We got,
yes, some brief
item M.
updates. So
Oh, I'm
the
very sorry. I skipped item M. Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you, but I skipped the previous item where I jumped ahead on the agenda, so we'll get back to this. I'm sorry. Item M is update on IT and progress with the new employees and the duties.
Yeah. Kim Veeder, IT Director. First of all, I'd like to remind the county employees and the public that October is Cybersecurity Month, and this year's theme is Do Your Part, #Be Cyber Smart. Can I just say that? This is a reminder that each of us needs to do our part. We need to be conscious of the sites we access. We need to be cautious when clicking on links or opening attachments. We need to be responsible for our online activity. So I will be sending information to county employees during this month, and a link to more information is included on the website, so if the public is interested. A lot of good information, and it's pretty easy to click when you're not thinking and get yourself in a world of trouble. So hopefully we can be cyber smart. And as far as the new employee, I'm happy to report that we're very pleased with the selection we made. Clint Hardman, who we hired at the end of July. He's been working with staff on efforts to replace or upgrade the desktop computers, and we've been replacing servers that are at end of life. And a considerable time has been spent to identify printers and documenting their properties. Along with this project, we're installing the printers, network printers on the new server. He's been working with staff and has been very successful in working with her. Staff has expressed, she came up to me and said that he's easy to work with, has been very helpful. I think we're all working very well together. But even with this addition to department, we need to hire the budgeted staff. As was said, when we posted this position, we would plan on hiring the network specialist in October. The job description has been posted, is completed, and is ready to be posted, and I'll be asking the board to put that on an agenda. A reminder, with the Tyler tax software implementation, it's still taking a great deal of my time and requiring additional time on my part beyond normal work hours. We still have issues from the rollover that still need to be addressed. And at this point, we have limited access to support because of their issues. So that's where I am. I think we're ready to hire the network specialist, and I'd like to move forward with that.
Is the new employee working on the floor now?
Yeah.
Departments and stuff?
Uh-huh.
So he is taking calls?
Yeah. He was down in the treasurer's office working on their printers this morning. So
Who was doing the calls before? Was it ACES or?
it just depends on what the subject is. So this is a specific project for him, though. But yesterday in the election office, they were having a problem with one of their printers, and he was telling me that they ended up having to take the back off of it to actually.
What's his actual job? Is it to work on strictly printers and computer, or is
Oh,
he
no.
technical problems?
We're working our way up to the server situation. So yeah, he's part of my meetings with ACES, and we've been talking about projects. One of the next things that we have to get done, and I think we've discussed this already, is the email change and our domain name change. So we're working on getting caught up on some of the things that needed to be done right now. Any other
Good.
questions?
Any other questions, board?
Kim, this is Linda. I have a question. Would it be something you'd consider that might be helpful to all of us, I guess, if maybe a department head meeting, I know it doesn't have to be a board meeting, but maybe at a department head meeting, we could have some discussion, and if there's IT projects out there that maybe somebody feels is really a priority, wants to ask your opinion so we can all kind of hear how things are going or what the plan is for working through this, would that be
Yeah, we can put that as a agenda item on next week, or is it next week? The budget, or department head meeting for October.
Okay, all right, thanks, appreciate it.
Maybe have the department heads and elected officials submit some kind of a report to the board on what they'd like to see. And
Okay, well, we can discuss it and we can put together a report of what was talked about at the meeting.
that way we can have some kind of a direction on the hiring in the future also.
Okay.
All right. Any further discussion on this board? All right. We'll move on to any reports or information from the board.
No, you forgot the COVID again.
Oh, gosh. I keep Xing things off on this agenda and I skip. Well, all right. Next is discussion, county preparedness, possible updates for COVID-19. Go ahead, Nafisa.
Thank you. Good morning again. One of the most important things is that the Blackhawk County Public Health, we have resumed our disease investigation and contact tracing. Very, very important role. I'm very excited to resume that. I want to really thank the Human Resource Department and maintenance for helping us set up our system in place. HR really helped us with our recruitment of contact tracers, and Rory and his staff patiently worked with us. It hasn't been as easy, but we've got it. We're almost finished with some of the infrastructure that was needed. So with that, also yesterday I did the Ron Still report with both the two mayors of Cedar Falls and Waterloo. The conversation was around, again, prevention and in preparation for COVID and the flu. So that should be airing on Sunday. We also are working with the healthcare systems in preparation for COVID vaccine when it's available. So I want to make sure that that's communicated correctly. So we haven't heard and gotten any update about the vaccine, but we are in planning mode with our healthcare systems for the vaccine. And I know some of our healthcare systems, they serve they have clinics in other counties. Our main focus is Blackhawk County. Those clinics would need to contact their public health. But as we know how people also navigate different counties, we are really eager to assist in any shape or form. Staff will be at the Veterans Stand Down event. We'll be providing information about our programs and services. And we're also going to begin working on an initiative regarding hepatitis C with our veterans. And so, Yolando, thank you for being a partner in that. We're really eager to see how they help us, the veterans actually themselves help us to plan for this initiative and preventative message communication that we really need their input. So that's my update. And again, thank you, Human Resource Department and Maintenance, for assisting us. And we're doing our disease investigation and contact tracing. So that's good news.
Good. Thank you. Any questions, board? Thank you, Nafisa. Move on to any reports or information from the board. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.